Do you want to take surveys offline, but you want that offline survey to pull data in from this magical place? Let me show you how to do that. So what we're going to do today is we are starting out in ArcGIS Pro, and we have a data set. And what you're looking at here is, it's just a bunch of grids. They have a unique identifier, which is this block number right here. And if you come in here, you can see they're beautiful, beautiful numbers. And so that's our unique identifier. That's going to be the key to everything. We want everything to lock into that because we know that maybe all the 4-A numbers go to one work order, and we have a team that gets that work order and they take care of all of that. Or maybe the team goes out to AO, and that's going to be where they're going to go. And so we need to send all those work orders out to that specific team. So you'll figure out how you want your map to be set up and figure out what your end use is going to be. Is it for work orders? Do you have a team that does that? Or is it for, maybe it's a section. We're going to do a section in 2025. We're going to, we need to do the streets, and we're going to do in 2025. And so we want, we're going to work on this area, and we need to make sure that we have all the utility people involved, or we need to have the shop owners involved. So breaking them into these bite-sized pieces is going to help you make work much better. So keep in mind all of that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to append all this data to Survey123, and then we're going to use our inboxes so that our folks can refresh their inboxes in the morning when they leave their hotel, and then they're going to send all their data at night when they get back to the hotel. And so you're only offline during the day. So make sure, and that's a workflow that we use. Everybody updates, pushes out their data in the nighttime, and then they refresh in the morning because things change. If you've got different teams doing different things, things change. So we always have them refresh in the morning, push everything out in the nighttime. So then they all have good data coming in. Don't let them do it at the same time. It's not as efficient as it could be. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So what we're doing now is I'm going into Survey123. I've used my family address book, which you use for everything, because some people don't do utilities. Some people don't do archaeology. Some people don't, we only do one thing, and everybody has that tunnel vision for what they do. So I do family address book for all my trainings, only because we all have some sort of friend and family that we can actually do this for. So ideally, we want to take those blocks and we want to put them in the main part of the survey. And so what that does is that makes sure that when we append all the data, then the data gets pulled back to us in the morning. So we're building out our survey to match exactly the data, how we set up the data. So look over here. Let me make this really small. And I'm going to make this, I'm going to put this up here so that we can see it bigger. Okay, so and I'm going to actually go into our field view. So you can see basically all I did was took the exact same name that we want to append, and I put it up here. I didn't even make it fancy for the labels. Everything is just the way it's supposed to be. What I do want to do is I do want to tell people that they cannot edit it. So we're going to say read only all the way down and say save. In fact, they might not even need to see any of that. Maybe you kind of warm them to the idea that this is what it's doing, and then you can hide all of those after the initial time when their inspectors go out, so they know what's going on behind the scenes. And I've already set up the field length to a minimal amount. Our zip codes are always going to be 5 digits. We're not going to do the dash and the 4 numbers afterwards. If you're doing that, just add some more information or add some more length to that. And So what we're looking at here, this is all this information down here. Actually, I wanted to show you how to do that. Sorry, folks. Let me try one more time. Excel. Okay, so we are going to take all of that data. We're going to pull that in. We're going to append all this data first just to the hosted service. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy that data into the repeat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all this data and I'm going to come over here because we want to go into calculate. I'm just going to paste it right in there. You can do this if you don't want the green to disappear, because I usually keep it all green. I can go right mouse click and values. Then everything stays beautiful. Now we need to copy the data from the main into the repeat. So we use that funny piece of code all the way down. So we could just kind of do all the ends. And we could take all of this, copy, paste, Control V to paste, Control C to copy. And save. Now, if we want to see if that's actually working, we can come up here to default and put like gig. I don't know why gig, but it'll be different enough that we'll know that it's actually working. Open this up and it's right there. All right, so we'll say save. And then we want to publish. And you'll notice there's no data in there, and that's okay. So what we want to do is enable sync, because if we're going offline, this tells the computer to pull it all down and wait for them to push it back to the cloud. It's the online. It tells the computer we will be offline. Say okay. Go in here to analyze survey. This is a great little tool that they added in, like I think it was in the version 17. So this is what it looks like. Contains many questions, no groups or pages. I'm okay with that. Instance name is not set. I do need to fix that because the instance name is what people are going to see when they come over, when they go to their inbox. And it's outdated. Why is because I created this, I copied this one over. Okay, so we're going to do a few things. We are going to cancel this. So we're going to go to instance name and put that in and hit save. And publish. We know everything looks good, so we're just going to publish. And then while that's publishing, we are coming over here. And I'm just going to close a few things. Okay, so here's our data. And we know what our attribute table looks like. We know there's 662 of them. See if that's done. That's finished. So now what I can do is I can come over to catalog, portal, offline. Let's use the word offline. All right, so here it is. It's our feature service. That's where our live data lives. So we have our shape file because now I don't know if I shared that with you. So here I used a geoshape because we want to use a polygon. And then inside our repeat, we're just going to use a geopoint. You can put two in there as long as they're separated into their own repeat. So now what we've done is we've pulled all this information in, and we want to take that main survey and populate it with all of these grids. So now what we can do is we're going to append all of this data into this data. So go over here and the way that we built this is they have the same exact names, so they should link up really nicely. So geoprocessing, we can say append. Input data set is that one with the black grids. So that is BOMA. There it is right there. Target data set, we're going into the offline polygon. And they must match, and pretty much they're going to, but there might be there are extra fields in there. So let's go look and see what we have going on. So we have this one. Oh, I'm going to say global ID, we're going to remove. So we're going to use this one over here. So we don't have anything in global ID. We didn't bring over a global ID. So we want the computer to do that by itself. Block number, folio number, comp number, name, and zip code. So that's how that's all going to work. This gives me a little error, and I think it's going to be okay. So we're going to try it, see what that happens. Say okay. And we know that we need 662. Run it, see what happens. If it's ugly, we'll fix it. Okay, did you see that? 662, 662. So now, when you go into your Survey123, we've published this already. I'm going to go into, let's see, I don't have a Survey123 desktop. Survey123 desktop. It's coming up. I want to pin this one into my taskbar. And see if that works. Beautiful. Close. And then we're going to come up here to our face and download the new survey. Here it is. Now we're going to open it. And it doesn't have the inbox in here, so I need to go fix that. So here we're going to options. Oh, I also need to require updates because I like to make edits and I want to make sure my people get to do that too. I turn on the inbox and turn off the sent box. Now, right now, we're not using a where clause, but at some point you may say, okay, well, now that we've done the initial survey, now the where clause is for the rest of the season. Anything that was high risk, we need to go out and re-inspect. And that's where you would put this in. Or anything with the status work order. That's the only thing that's coming in because now all of our work orders are getting done. And then maybe those folks have their own little piece of the survey that they fill out. And that's where we get really complicated really fast. And that's what I love to do. So if you get stuck and you need to know how to do all of this, reach out to me. I do private coaching and group coaching. For right now, we're not going to do that. We want to see it all. So let's go ahead and republish. The great thing is that I was able to change that update field right now before anybody had already downloaded it, because the complicated part is if you have live data and now you're refreshing your survey and that is not turned on, you have to tell all your end users, okay, I need you to update this. Because the computer won't see that until they update it the first time. So let's go back into Survey123 Desktop Edition. Close. And let's do our update. And offline. So we have collect and inbox. If we don't want them collecting outside of that area, turn the collect off. I'll show you how to do that. It says, and now allow new surveys to be collected, and you can turn that off. For now, we'll just leave it. So we'll go to our inbox and refresh. And you do this before you leave the hotel. So here's all of the names, but it doesn't look very friendly. Go to map. And now people can see it. And you can put your own base map on there if you want. but their computer's going to tell them where they are. So right now, my computer is in LA. I don't know why, but my office is right here, so I can click that. And now that's my grid that I'm in. It already pulled all that data in. Now I can go into my repeat. I've already got all this stuff already filled in. And now I can put my family members in or whatever. And down at the bottom, did I do that? Down at the bottom, we can put our location right here or wherever we are. And then I don't even know where that is. That's funny. Let's do Beaumont, California. Beaumont, California. Okay. So that's where I actually am. Somewhere. Oh, no, I'm actually right there. So there I am. And so now I have the point in my exact location, but when they clicked in on the map, it gave me the area. So if you have big areas, like I said, this is perfect. All of that information at the top is going to get pre-populated. We can hide all that information. They don't even need to see it. They don't need to see the inspection area, but it's nice. It gives them a warm, fuzzy feeling to say, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. But you know, all of this stuff you could probably hide. All this stuff you can probably hide. And things that you would want up here is probably a project number, maybe a billing code, you know, all those little things that the end user doesn't care about, but you care about. Utility company, you may have a long area that has, you know, the inspector that usually goes out to that area to do inspections, and you can push this out to them. Let me know how you're going to use it, because things get really exciting really fast, and I love hearing how everybody else is using this. That's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope that works for you. Let me know. Bye-bye.